What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthew. I'm the owner of Shining Mana Collectibles, a very small collectibles business based right here in Alabama. And I sell on eBay, TCG Player, in person at a vendor's mall booth local in town. And I'm looking to get into card shows. That's what this video is about, is my very first card show. I went as a patron, not as a vendor. So I'm going to get into all the details on that here in just a little bit. But if you want to see me turn this collectibles business into a legitimate full-time hustle, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to try and document my journey, as corny as that sounds. I know everybody says document the journey and all this stuff, but I really am trying to throw a record out there. So maybe you can learn from the mistakes that I make. Maybe you can learn from the wins that I have. And you can kind of know what to look out for, what to do in your own business. Maybe you just like cards and you want to see a guy that sells them, whatever floats your boat. I'm here on YouTube, so just subscribe to the channel and let's get right into it. So I'm signed up to vend a card show this coming weekend in Sand Mountain, Alabama. And I've never been to a card show before. I've been selling on eBay for several years now, but really going hard in collectibles for the past year and a half. So I thought it was time to take the jump and do my first card show. But then I thought that I haven't actually been to a card show, so maybe I should go as a customer and kind of learn what it's like at a card show. So I got off work, came home, relaxed for a little bit, and then I found out there was a card show 30 minutes away from my house. And I was like, well, I guess $7 to get into that thing. Let's go check it out and see how it goes. You know, what's the worst that could happen? So I took about $100 out of the bank and went to the card show to look for some vintage Pokemon cards for my master sets that I'm trying to work on in my binders. And I'll show you guys those those pickups here in just a little bit. So I went with about $100. I ended up spending about $120. You know, I went a little over budget. I had to cash out the guy for a sweet, sweet Scyther that I really wanted from Jungle. But I'll show you guys that here in just a minute. But I go up there. My only goal is to learn what this card show is like. What's it like to vend? What's it like to be a customer? What should I do? What should I not do? I kind of already had ideas of what not to do and what to do at a card show, because I've watched a lot of vendor POV content. I've watched a lot of card show do's and don'ts content. So nothing really too surprising on that front, but I will say I did not expect it to be as busy as it was. This was a small show in Alabama, 30 minutes from my house. And it was just it was incredibly busy. There was a line. It took me 10 minutes to get it into the building, into the venue. It wasn't like, packed like sardines in there, but you had people waiting in line to look at vendors' inventory. You had to be patient and look through binders and be mindful of who was around you. It wasn't just free space. And lots of just really cool cards there and other stuff to buy. Cool video games, cool pop vinyls, cool plushies, toys, and everything. But the cards is what I was there for. And I saw some relatively high-end stuff, some stuff for a couple $1,000 in Pokemon cards. And we're talking base set Zards, Skyridge grades, and I know I saw a Shining Tyranitar for about $1,300, I believe. Just banger cards. That was a great card. Just banger cards and just really cool stuff. And I did not expect it to be as overwhelming as it was. Or I guess I did expect it, but I didn't know to what degree to look out for that. So I definitely had to take a step away from a couple of tables that I was looking at just so I could recollect myself and kind of just make sure that I was conducting my way in a manner that I wasn't going to, make a mistake like, overspending, which I did do, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Overspending on a card, getting pressured into a deal because, it's a lot of pressure around and there's a lot of people, all that good stuff. So first card show was a pretty good success. Definitely can't wait to vend my own card show because the first thing I noticed when I got there, I walk up to a few vendors. First of all, there was a lot of vendors first time at this show. Not their first time vending necessarily, but first time at this show. So that tells me that the local scene is probably growing like everywhere else probably is, because the Pokemon market and collectibles in general is just red hot still. So a lot of vendors for their first time being there. I wore a Yu-Gi-Oh shirt because I sell a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and a couple people asked me about the new Yu-Gi-Oh full art cards. Did I see them? You know, we chatted about Yu-Gi-Oh for a little bit. I'm there collecting Pokemon, but I love Yu-Gi-Oh too. There were no vendors selling any Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I saw out of the probably 80 to 100 vendors that were there. I didn't see a single one selling any Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I saw one selling Magic the Gathering. Everyone else, probably like 70% of the venue was sports cards. And, well, maybe like more like 60. And then the other 39 was Pokemon. 1% was selling Magic the Gathering. I respect the hustle. But no Yu-Gi-Oh sellers. So I will probably be one of the only people vending Yu-Gi-Oh at the next card show out when I vend, which is fine with me. I want to see if there's any space for it, you know. Apparently, a lot of people have been asking about Yu-Gi-Oh! In the local card scenes where I'm at, and none of the vendors carry it. So I have a lot of the classic fan favorite cards, and I can't wait to get my stuff in that case, see if I can sell it to anybody who's looking for Yu-Gi-Oh! I got some Pokemon too, so I'm not just relying on Yu-Gi-Oh! But it is a big part of my business is Yu-Gi-Oh! So I'm going to be there buying cards. I'm going to be there trying to sell my stuff and to see if I can make something. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm going pretty all out with my first card show. I've already got all the equipment besides the retractable banner I'm waiting on. I've spent a good bit of money on making sure that my brand and my image looks pretty good and everything looks cohesive. I don't want to be a person that goes to a card show and I just have cards on a table and that's it. I think presentation is big in a convention like that. So I want to make sure I do it right. Retractable banner, tablecloth that matches my logo colors. I want to make sure I have a nice display. It's clean. I got cards in there, labeled and priced, because if a vendor didn't have prices on their cards, I pretty much just walked past that table. I did not want to shop at a vendor that doesn't have their cards pre-priced before the show. I just think that's kind of a shady business to be in. But anyway, into the pickups. First, I want to talk about I bought 4 vintage cards for my binder that I needed. Let's start with this guy right here. This is a unlimited jungle hollow Scyther, and I believe this is light played condition. It's really, really clean. I don't know if you guys can see it too bad. It might be reflecting on the sleeve a little bit. Picked that up for about $20. I think it was really fair. Everything checked out with me, and yeah, picked that card up. Gonna be going in the binder. Next up right here, we got this Kingdra Hollow from Neo Genesis, an absolute fan favorite set. I love this set so much. I love Gen 2. It's my favorite generation. So Neo Genesis, really, really nostalgic for me. Picked that up for about $10. Again, probably light play, really light play plus condition. Not quite near mint, but it's close. Kingdra Hollow picked up for $10. This is a really cool find. One of my absolute favorite sets ever. Team Rocket, OG Team Rocket. And I got this pre-release hollow dark Gyarados with the swirl right there up top above the tail. If you guys can see that. And it's a really, really nice swirl. This is one of my favorite artworks of all time, is this dark Gyarados artwork. I had it as a kid. My card was shredded. I sold it on eBay a couple of years ago. And just picked it up again. Pre-release version. Dark Gyarados hollow card. And the biggest one for me, and the biggest L I took, and I'm going to go into that in just a second, is this really nice Slowking from Neo Genesis. It is heavily played. I'm not going to be able to show you guys, I don't think, in the camera right here, but there's a small crease right in the middle of the card. It's not quite bent up and out of shape, but it's definitely there. But the main reason I love this card, I'm not even a swirl collector, but if I can just get you guys to look at the swirl, if I can catch it on the camera. I always had trouble getting these things right there. You see that swirl right in the middle of the sky? It's kind of hard to see, but the camera doesn't really do it justice. This Slowking is just awesome. Slowking is one of my favorite Pokemon ever. Probably favorite. The Slowpoke evolution line. I love the Slowpoke evolution line. I mean, I got the big guy right there. The big plushy guy. Slowpoke. That is an unlimited Neo Genesis Slowking. And when I saw it, I'll be honest, I nerded out and I bought it probably too quickly. The guy wanted 60 for it. I offered 50. I get home, I realize I overpaid for that card, and I hate that feeling. I hate overpaying for stuff. I love it. It's going in the binder, but I really wish I would have comped the card correctly, because if you work in the card industry, you'll know that TCG Player defaults to first edition holos on most vintage holo Pokemon cards. So the guy was pricing cards, and he probably didn't do it on purpose, I don't think. He seemed like a genuine person. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. But he stickered it at 60 because the heavily played first edition goes for around 50, 55 market price. So he was pricing it up a little bit. I respect it. I gave him 50. He probably thought he got a really good deal. I thought I got a good deal until I got home and realized that that was the first edition price, not the unlimited. So I overpaid for about $20, $25 for this Slowking card. Really stings. I really got to pay better attention, because that is not the first time that has happened to me. And I've gotten fried on a non-first edition holo being priced at first edition prices. So I really, really hate that happened. It's going in the binder. It's a learning lesson to always pay attention when you're comping cards on TCG Player for vintage holos especially. Make sure you're comping unlimited to unlimited and first edition to first edition, because those prices vary a lot and you don't want to overpay for something. So take my L, learn from it. That's the pickups, guys. The card show was a success. Everything's going in the binder. I'm vending my first show this coming weekend. When I get all the equipment in, I'm going to be making a video on all the equipment with the setup and everything as like a mock setup. And I'll be doing a video on that. And if you want to check it out, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you can get the notification when I do post it. And I'm going over my year-end numbers as well here in just a few days on a separate video. I think I'm going to hit about $20,000 in sales between all the sales channels I've established. So that's pretty exciting. I'll be going over numbers, profitability, how much I lost, how much I made, and all that good stuff. So if you're into that kind of businessy content, be sure to check that video out as well. And yeah, maybe I'll do like a what sold video here in a couple of days as well. I'm feeling really, really antsy on YouTube content. I got lots of stuff I can talk about. So like I said, if you want to see me build up this collectibles business to a legitimate income, be sure to subscribe to the channel, follow for more. And that's about all I got for this one, guys. I'm out.